Amid all the Apple iPad excitement, Google quietly soft launched the Pixel 8a, available for pre-order now. Link in the description. If you are going to pre-order one, I recommend using Best Buy because you're still going to get the trade-in offers, which aren't that great through Google anyway, and you're still going to get a $100 gift card. However, instead of a Google Store gift card, you're getting a Best Buy gift card, which I think is slightly more versatile than the Google equivalent. So it does help the channel. Click the link in the description. Keeps me getting devices, really helps out, and lets companies know that you like watching Steve Alicia's tech videos. So I do encourage you to do that. So now, I just spent the last month bashing Google, right? I have been very disappointed with some of the stuff that they've done in the past month. So I was very curious when they would release the specs for the Pixel 8a, what we would actually get. And the one I was looking for the most was the price. So first off, they kind of clawed back a little bit of that goodwill that they had built with the Pixel 8 Pro, which I think is a fantastic device. So that's why I got to look. As a person, I've been frustrated with Google for the past month. As a reviewer, as a journalist, I got to put that hat back on and be fair about what you're getting for the money, what the company's presenting, and what their latest device is going to give you. All things considered, the Pixel 8 Pro was probably their best Pixel in years, if not ever. So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're going to clean it up for the Pixel 8a, and so far, so good. We didn't see that $550 price tag, which I was worried about. $500. That's fair, especially given what you get. So let's talk about it. The specs, 6.1-inch display still there. Actua display instead of the Super Actua display, but it's still going to be around 1,600 nits of brightness kind of average, but then that 2,000 max if you need it in sunlight and all the rest of it. That's a significant improvement because if anything, if I were to kind of nitpick the A series, whether it was the 6A or the 7A, I would have loved to have seen some brighter displays in there, some poppier displays. And they gave us that finally with the Pixel 8 Pro, and now it looks like they're bringing that down, at least in some part, to the Pixel 8A. I love to see that. 8 gigs of RAM, Tensor 3, love that. Here's the deal, 4,400 milliamp hour battery. That should be good. Look, if they have the power efficiencies that they had in the Pixel 8 Pro, that might be pretty good. So that's a wait and see. We'll test it, see what happens there. But here's the kicker, and here's why I think that the Pixel 8a is worth that $500. 7 years of software support. They brought that down to the Pixel 8a. Now, they have some work to do still. I think they're going to do the same thing. I think if they put Google AI in the first sentence on their website, on the store, you go to store.google.com, first sentence is Google AI. So you can't do that unless Gemini Nano is coming to this device in some shape or form. Now, like they did with the Pixel 8, I think you're going to have it as an option. They're going to say they're testing it, but I think it's going to come to the Pixel 8a, and I think it's going to work well. You want to know why? Because there was no reason why it shouldn't have worked well in the first place on the Pixel 8. I think it's going to be just fine on the Pixel 8. That's how they're going to walk back all of this, because they knew they had to. Personally, I think they were probably going to charge $550 for this and say, oh, look, you get a 120 hertz display now, and you get an Actua display, and you get 7 years of software. Isn't that worth an extra $50? The same thing that they did with the 7A, but they didn't. Because they saw the backlash. That's why we do these videos. That's why we complain about these things before they come out, because these rumors are not by accident. These rumors are trial balloons. These are things that companies put out to say, well, let's see what the reaction to this is. And they got a lot of pushback on that. They got a lot of pushback on the Pixel 8 thing not getting Gemini Nano, and that's why they walked that back. They got a lot of pushback on this device going up to $550. That's why they walked that back. So I think at least it's comforting, at least on some level. You wish they didn't make the mistakes in the first place, or were so tone deaf in the first place. But it does seem that Google's listening. It does seem they kind of want to hang on to a lot of the goodwill they got by releasing the Pixel 8 Pro, because the Pixel 8 Pro, like I said, all things considered, as much as I get frustrated with Google, if I'm honest with myself, the Pixel 8 Pro is still one of the best phones out there that you can get. The software is in a really good spot. Tensor 3 is good. It's efficient. It's powerful enough, and all the rest of it. I just think it's a really, really smooth and good experience. And then you get the camera on top of it. Nice build. All the rest of it. Oh, by the way, matte finish. On the back, it said this glossy plastic. You're getting the matte plastic finish with a matching aluminum band. You get that beautiful aloe color, which is the one that I picked up. So that's the one that, listen, if you're smart about it, you said they got the blue, they got the porcelain, they got the obsidian. But if you got any taste, right, if you're a little funky, get yourself that aloe because that is a beautiful looking saturated green color, which is pretty cool. That's the one that I featured in the thumbnail. But overall, look, I'm like I said, there's two different camps here. One is myself as a person who spent the last month frustrated with Google. But on the other hand, I got to be a reviewer. I got to be fair. I got to say, look, what do people buying the next device for $500, what do they get compared to the rest of the marketplace? The Pixel 8 Pro is a good device, so I know they're not on a losing streak. They may have made some PR disasters with the Pixel Fold and the Pixel 8 and all the rest of it. But if they can learn from that, if they deliver on this spec sheet so far for the Pixel 8a, then that's a pretty impressive device for that money. $500 that's going to own the mid-range. You're going to get all that stuff. They put magic editing in there. You're going to get magic editing. You're going to get night sight. You're going to get top shot. You're going to get all the stuff that you love there. Call stuff, call screening, getting all the Pixel extras, okay? Plus the 7 years of support and feature drops. And if they can kind of shoehorn, which I don't even think they need to do, I think there was nonsense, like I said in the first place. If they could shoehorn Gemini Nano into that package at $499, then you're looking at something fancy. If it delivers the smoothness, which I don't see why not. You got 120 hertz, you got a Tensor 3, you got 8 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough. I don't see why. I know it's not the 12 that the other one has, but if you could get that kind of a near enough Pixel 8 Pro experience for $500, then you got yourself a winner. So like I said, pre-orders are live now. Go ahead, use the link in the description. It does help the channel. Pick yourself up that $100 Best Buy gift card or store credit or whatever it is. That's really cool. You could use it on something else. You could pick up some cases or whatever it happens to be, but it does help out the channel. But I picked mine up. We're going to have it here. We're going to have the full comparison to the Pixel 7a, but like the Pixel 8 Pro, they highlighted the areas that they needed to highlight. They kind of hit on some of the points that were really weaknesses of the Pixel 7 Pro. Screen brightness, software, battery life, overheating, stuff like that. So they went down the list. It was like they were reading a Reddit post. They went down the list and they corrected each of those. Now, if I had something like this for the Pixel 7a, what would it be? Well, it would be the heating, the battery life, and the screen brightness. So based on the spec sheet, it looks like they've checked all those boxes. Tensor 3 is power efficient. It doesn't overheat as much. The battery cell is pretty big. 120 hertz, nice, bright, big display. Or not big, I should say. It's 6.1 inches. But it's a bright display, which is significantly better than previous A-series devices for the same money as last year. That was the thing. Don't give me all this stuff and then raise it and knock it out of the box of mid-range and then say, well, look at all we gave you. That's the first step to winning back my some of the hearts here, including my own. That's the first step to claw your way back to being favorable again, keeping that hang on to that 3% market share you're so proud of. No, this is a positive Google day. We're not gonna I'm not gonna go backwards. I'm not gonna devolve into the hate. It's there, trust me. But I gotta be fair. Especially if you're a Pixel fan. If you love it, if you love the camera, if you love all the extras, so far so good. The Pixel 8a seems like a winner for you, especially for $500. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.